Jordan, look, man, word of advice. You just got to let the Star Wars people be who they are. This is who they are. This is the world they created.
That's true. That's true.
The Star Wars fan base is the worst fan base in the history of anything we cover on this podcast. As a whole, they are awful. I love them, but they are awful. Hear ye, and welcome to the Royal Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Rollison, also known as T-Roll, and tonight I am joined by my very good friends. First of all, we have Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy. We also have Anthony Amato, who we like to call Shamato, and of course, the landlord, Jordan Mosley, in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to review The Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Here we go, boys. Trial by Tomato, Mandalorian and Grogu, the big screen.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. How are we feeling, guys? Ready to rock and roll?
First Star Wars movie in 7 years.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Wow, it's really that long, huh?
Yeah.
What was the last one that came out?
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Wow.
Did Solo come out before that?
Yes.
Yeah, Solo came out right after Force Awakens.
Okay.
In between Force Awakens and Last Jedi.
Wow.
Well, as always, as we continue our Trial by Tomato season number 1, this is a Trial by Tomato movie, so we are going to give a big update on the scoreboard and everything happening with our amazing series. If you take it back in time to when we covered our picks on these 10 movies for season 1, the line at the time, the Rotten Tomatoes line at the time, was 90 and a half. 90 and a half. And I even thinking back now, it's like, man, the algorithm that was created by Jordan, yourself, and the power of AI, and it's probably a lot of just the success of the Mandalorian show, the Star Wars IP, right?
Yeah,
there's probably a lot that went into that.
Probably.
Yep.
Pedro Pascal.
Big actors, Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot that went into it. But we have to say the line as of time of recording this podcast is 64. Ooh.
That actually went up since I last saw it, actually. So I'll take that.
Which normally doesn't do that. Normally it goes down as, more reviews come in. But anyways, 64 was the score of the movie, and a majority of people took the under, probably because, once again, it was a high line, 90 and a half. In fact, of everyone in our group, the 4 of us, 3 of us took the under with the majority of listeners who played Trial by Tomato, and 1 lonely soldier took the over. Jordan, why don't you give yourself a moment to tell us why you went with the over?
so this was one of the ones that I thought I could use to flip. When all 3 of y'all went, took the under, I was like, you know what? If I'm right,
Massive points.
Yeah, massive points. But here I am.
So it was a gamble.
Big gamble. Did not pay off. But no risk it, no biscuit, baby.
Yeah.
That's okay. So Jordan was the only one who took the over. Myself, Shamato, and Sandy all took the under, which did help us in making some ground. But, again, majority of our listeners who play Trial by Tomato took the under as well, including, once again, the king of Trial by Tomato, Daquan, also known as 72 Dolphins Daquan over here, with the perfect score, now 6 for 6 on Trial by Tomato. The guy can't miss. He is currently still sitting at number 1 on the leaderboard. How are we feeling about that, boys?
I mean, I don't understand how he's doing it. I feel like he must have some insider information or something. There's got to be a glitch in the system or something. I've never heard of this before. This is insane.
He's just better than us.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Quan, we need to get you on the pod because we obviously have something we can learn from you.
Nice. Yeah.
But seriously, he is still the only player to be perfect. He has not missed a beat. He is 6 for 6 on this movie. Let's look at what he predicted because, we'll give him a proper shout out since he has been so reliable. He said 82. Wait, that can't be right. Because he took the under.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
It was 90 now.
It was 90.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oops. Sorry, a lot of numbers in my head. Not great with numbers and math. That's just T-Roll being an idiot. But anyways, shout out to Quan, still in first place. In fact, the leaderboard hasn't changed from last few weeks, it looks like. Leo King is sitting in second still. Peter Johnson is in third. Jordan's little brother Will is in fourth. And our boy Kyle Horton is in fifth. I do want to give a shout out. Was it Marcus Callahan who was winless this whole time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he has finally got his pick. He got this one right. He is now 1 for 5 or 1 for 6. So
There you go.
1 and 5. So congrats to Marcus. Glad you are. We now have everyone has scored some points officially.
Everyone's on the board. Yep.
Yep. So for the four of us, Shamato in the bottom at 17th, Jordan in 16th, Sandy in 11th, and I'm the only one in the top 10, barely in 9th. We got some people in front of us: Chandler Grantham, Richie Valdez, Jakari, and those are in 8th, 7th, and 6th. So the top 10 rounds out with Josh Brown in 10th. But yeah, why don't we look at what the four of us picked? Jordan just went with 91. Again, he was playing it safe. If you're going to go over, that is. I said 83, Shimano said 88, and Sandy said 84. So we all were very high on this movie. That will make the review in a few moments very fun. But technically nobody got that. And then let me look through. It looks like nobody got a perfect prediction. Who was it that got a perfect, what do we call that again? I forgot what that's called.
The sniper, tomato sniper.
Yeah. Tomato sniper. Was it Jakari that got that?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So Jakari, he guessed 65. He was one off
Wow, almost.
from back-to-back freaking tomato sniper awards.
Wow.
Yep. And Philip had 63. So those were the closest predictions. But yeah, man, a lot of fun. Again, this whole game has been a lot of fun, and if we could all just play like Daquan, we would feel better about ourselves. Boys, let's kind of get into the review. And or actually, anything you want to say about the whole Trial by Tomato score being 64 before we jump into this?
Man, I think our review is going to speak for that, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that you want the people to wait one more minute before we start the review? Is that what you're saying here, Justin?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it did not deserve that low. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, let's give the people what they want.
Yeah,
Like,
this
think that was
is
a good score.
definitely not a 64 movie at all.
No, definitely not. And yeah, I was texting Justin about it yesterday, and it's like these people, they don't.
I have a big gripe with Star Wars fans right now, and I think maybe if we want to lead into it, like we can start bashing Star Wars fans, like because I feel like this is
That's easy.
this is insane. This is insanity to have a rating like this. I feel.
But it's not the Star Wars fans that are giving that. It's the critic score we're going off of here.
I agree that we are going off the critic score, but I feel like the critics have been around long enough to where like they see a Star Wars movie coming, they're like, "This is it. Like this is like we're not gonna give this a good rating already. Like we already know."
Yeah, there was. I think one of
No
my
Star Wars movie has like I mean, yes, Empire is like 93, but like even our beloved Revenge of the Sith is like low, very low. I think it's like 9.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Revenge of the Sith was literally just the. I think honestly, it's just because the excess of the first two was like they just got laid up on them.
79, Revenge of the Sith.
I would say, but okay, so the audience score though is an 88 for Mandalorian and Grogu,
Which honestly, I feel like that's
Feels low.
as close as it's gonna be. I think. I feel like it's.
If only that's what it had actually been, I would have.
I'm trying to think of it. If it, I'm still like processing my thoughts. Like, am I going to give this like in the 90s? I feel like I would give this movie a 90.
See, my issue was, like, yes, the quote unquote like critics and experts are saying like 64, but then when you go look at like the comment sections, like all these Star Wars fans are just riding their coattails and their opinions. Like, oh yeah, they should have done this. They should have done this. Should have been a series. This should have been like hop off it, nerds. Like
it was a series.
Like
Yeah.
it was like if you were not entertained by that, then you need to find another fandom because like it was entertaining if nothing else.
I agree.
See, Jordan, you just gotta Look, man, word of advice. You just got to let the Star Wars people be who they are. This is who they are. This is the world they created.
That's true.
The Star Wars fan base is the worst fan base in the history of anything we cover on this podcast. As a whole, they are awful. I love them, but they are awful.
It's honestly because they're one of the few fandoms that took complete ownership of their property more than anything else, because of the time span between The Last Jedi and Phantom Menace. So they kind of felt like they had to take ownership of it to keep it alive, because there was no other movies that were coming out to continue the story. Even something that had passion, like a Star Trek, there was always something going. Like, you either had one of the movies going after it was canceled, or then you had new shows like Next Generation, all that kind of stuff. There's always been something to kind of look forward to, move the story without the fans having to move it themselves. And I think that's kind of what happened. That was part of the reason why there's such this weirdness inside the Star Wars fandom, is because they had to move the ball themselves. It felt like in a lot of ways for them.
Yeah.
For that 15-year period.
And I think with this, I thought it was a really good self-contained story.
Yeah.
Obviously it doesn't bring in a whole lot from the outside Star Wars world. It's not, there's not a ton of Easter eggs. I mean, there's some, but there's not a ton of Easter eggs that are just weaving all these, storylines together. It stands on its own, And
they weren't relying on cameos.
Yeah, exactly. And I did think we would get I was hoping we'd get some kind of cool cameo, but I don't know who I would have wanted to be, but I was hoping for some kind of cool cameo.
Yeah, I do think there's something to be said. So it looks like, Justin, you think it should have been higher than 64. Jordan, you think it should have been higher than 64. Otto, do you feel like it should have been higher than 64?
I do feel like I'm the lowest, but I do think it should have been higher than 64.
Yeah, I think me and Shimano, we're probably a little more. You guys are probably higher on it than I am, than Shimano is. But I would agree that, and I'm a big fan. You guys know this. Rotten Tomatoes is a good gauge for me in my simple mind. But even I was like, I think it's better than 64. I don't think it's way better. I don't think it's just, you're talking 90s. No chance. Absolutely no chance.
Well, it's close. The music alone deserves a 90.
The music's great. The music's great.
That's
yeah.
a fact.
Anytime you put Ludwig in there,
Yeah.
I thought the 88 was pretty fair.
I'm still debating. I feel like, could this be a 90? I think 88 is fair. Yeah, you're right. But I don't know.
I think for me, anywhere from 75 to 85 would be fair for this movie. I think it was a good movie. They really do. I think it was a good movie. But I don't think it was the greatest movie. I don't think it's the where would it rank in Star? That'd be fun. Where would it rank in Star Wars movies? Yeah.
Oh boy.
Which we could do that another time. But I do think there's something about it where, and I think we'll get into it. There was a couple plot points where I'm like, yeah, I mean, maybe this is why they're kind of low on it. But again, I think it was a little harsh. The 64 was a little harsh. So, anyways, why don't we actually get into it, okay? We haven't talked any real spoilers yet, so I guess here's the spoiler warning for the people, for our listeners. The first thing I got to say, all right? This movie starts out with a very generic Empire dude acting real hard, intimidating people. And I'm like, oh, look, some dude I'm not going to care about, right? And thankfully we don't care about him very long, because he's not alive very long. But yeah, what you guys think of this opening scene? Mando's coming in, just blasting people from the shadows.
Yeah.
Starting out hot.
Honestly, it was a strong opening for me. Obviously, that scene where he comes in between the doorway and lights the floor on fire, just to create a massive chaos, and puts these guys out of their misery. That was incredible to see. And then the riding the droid down the mountain, it looked really fun. It looked fun. It looked. I mean, yeah, I was here for it.
Can I say real quick that just the use of his fire in general in this movie was very strong.
Yep. Yeah.
The amount of times he was lighting dudes on fire, I was like, I'm trying to think back to the series. I was like, I know that was there, but was it all the time? I mean, he was doing it he was spamming that button on his controller.
Movie pyrotechnics budget is way higher. So
yeah, exactly.
I did so even before the fire, I liked how they did likening to I think that it was purposeful to have him have like the red like laser color for his first shot because essentially I think it was supposed to look a little bit like Vader for a moment. Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
Of like when he takes his first shot in the dark, and it's very similar to the like
Rogue One.
yeah, like Rogue One, like lighting the saber and it like lighting up the room red. So I really enjoyed that, like almost like a slight homage to just like that setup.
Yeah, I like how we got like Mando first, and it wasn't just like right off the bat like getting both of them same scene, like, and then like when Grogu pops into it, it's like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, that's right.
There he
Here's
is.
the little guy.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, opening scene was awesome.
yeah, I loved it.
I thought the choreography of it, like it was just awesome. And then like the quality of it, you could definitely tell. I saw some people saying like it didn't look that good, like the entire movie. I was like, I could tell the production value was up. It looked great.
Several cinematic shots that I was like, jaw to the floor, man. It looked good.
I thought it looked great. His action was good. You know, obviously probably not Pedro, probably a stuntman, right? But
Probably,
Mandalorian
got like
looking.
three Mandos, right?
Yes, they did in the show, so I'm assuming they carried that over to the movies. Yeah.
Yeah. Mandalorian was a force the entire movie. Like his reputation, like everywhere he went, people knew who he was. So I appreciated that. Like the aura, he had a lot of aura, lot of aura.
Man, especially like when he walks in the room and the guy escaped, the generic Empire guy, he escaped.
Yeah.
Everybody else just dropped their guns and pointed at the door where he went.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the definition of aura right there.
And he gives a little nod. He's like,
Yeah. Yep. Moving on.
It was kind of crazy when he just like straight shot that dude in the face.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Generic guy. Yeah.
Yeah, because like my son was with me and he was like, "Is there killing in this?" I was like, "I mean, like there's not blood, like it's not like that."
Yeah.
And then that was like right off the bat. I was like, "Okay, how am I going to explain this one?"
Yeah.
He's sleeping, Daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you explain death?
Yeah. Well, have you heard of fishes? Well, he's sleeping with them. So
Yeah.
anyway.
All right, so he kills off this generic, Empire dude, which I'm glad, dude. I swear, when it started, you said the opening scene was awesome for you. The first, 2 minutes, I was like, oh, dear God, I do not care about this guy. I can already tell not like I don't like you as a villain, and that's good. More like, I can tell you're not a good villain, and I hope you die soon. And thankfully, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, he was literally just an end to a means.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. So, anyways, he dies. Mandalorian and Grogu get back on their ship. They get reunited with their pilot.
Hey, yep, our boys. Oh man, yes, I remember towards the end of season 3, like Zeb came into the scene, and I was just like shocked that we got him in the first place.
Yeah.
And then to now, he's literally like a partner. I feel like this whole movie, he felt like he was like the wingman / like
He was
support.
essentially his handler.
Yeah,
If you've ever like you've ever seen anything like to deal with like the CIA or anything like that, like when they deal with like these kind of secondary entities, they'll have like he's like essentially the CIA guy who's like the handler for the Mandalorian.
Totally. Yep. So it's cool seeing him. He has his kind of moment to shine a little later. You know, a little Anthony Amato hallway fight scene, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But they go to the New Republic's compound. They're talking. What's this chick's name again? This girl.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the in the show or in the movie.
Colonel something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Totally forgettable. Like, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Colonel Ward.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you this right now, T-Roll. She was the worst part of the movie for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She was
Very bland. Very. Her lines felt like lines. They didn't feel like a performance or anything like that. I was just not feeling her.
Yeah, I just feel like once again, I've said this about other shows sometimes. Like it felt like she wasn't there.
I thought of you when I was watching it because like you brought that up in another movie or on
Daredevil.
That's right.
Yeah.
And like I was watching and I was like, it looks like she's just acting to nobody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like it almost felt like, did they just like pull B-roll footage from other movies she's been in, and splice it together. Like,
Kind of an avatar.
Of ridiculousness. Even when she was literally flying an X-wing, it was like nothing.
Can I tell you what I really thought it was? It was like a pre-ride like queue line like
Disney.
video, like Disney video.
Yeah.
Like you're waiting in line.
Yes.
And like I was expecting her to be like sitting there at the end, like waiting for like, oh,
Now
good.
fasten your seatbelts.
Good, y'all made it back.
Oh.
We couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
It was that level of cringe.
Yeah. And how dare she withhold the snacks from Grogu? Like, what?
Dude.
What is she?
What? They just caught another bounty that I'm sure he's been racking up.
Yeah.
And she takes snacks away from him? Like,
Yeah.
come on. Get out of here, dude.
Who are you? Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
So, anyways, she's talking to him about, hey, we really need these guys alive, which Zeb said that also. They need to get information, not just collect bodies. So she then takes him to get his reward. It's not just some credits for this job, but it's a pretty sweet ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Razor Crest 2.0, baby. Let's go.
Yep.
It was like chromed out. It was updated. And she's like, consider it in advance. And dude, as soon as she starts explaining this, the only thought in my head. So he literally says, I'm here to catch Imperial, warlords or whatever, right? I have what I'm supposed to do. But here we go. It's Mandalorian. So you know what that means? Side
Say it.
quest. Side quest. Side quest. So the whole
Yes.
movie is a side quest. It's not even what he is there to do, which is like
Yeah,
the
honestly,
perfect way for Dave Filoni to honor the Mandalorian frickin' show. To be completely honest with you.
Honestly, the main quest is over by like 30 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like honestly,
Yeah.
Which-
great part.
Which
Go
with
ahead.
Shamato, that is a little, and I don't know why you might be a little down on it or compared to these two, but that's the pacing of the movie for me is one of the things that I kind of feel like maybe that's why the critics didn't like it. It's like it felt like such a buzzkill. Like he gets to Shikari, the moon Shikari or whatever, and the Hutts, Jabba's son, which what's his name again? It's
Rada.
Rada, great name.
Man, he's buff too.
Dude, they said he had hit a
Absolute
little
unit.
hit a little growth spurt since he was so young,
Yes.
and it just felt weird. And it turned out being okay, but it was just like for a while there, it's like, so does that mean the twins are the villains? And then yes, that's what happened, but it just felt just weird, right? So, anyways, that's why I was a little low on it. But the action was still good, the story was still good, but it was just like confusing for a little bit, like what is actually happening here,
The Jeremy Allen White voice of
I felt like
Rada.
it was unnecessary.
Yeah, he was.
I was trying to figure out who it was the whole time.
Well, I mean, he voiced him in Clone Wars. Was it Clone Wars or Rebels? Clone Wars, yeah. He voiced Rada when he was a child.
baby.
Okay.
Honestly, that's kind of cool. I'm more okay with it.
Okay.
If there's that connection.
Yes,
'Cause
yes.
I did not. I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was like, why are you casting this actor to play this role when his voice is going to be
Yes.
unintelligible? Like it
Like
felt like a wait. It felt
Donald
like a
Glover
cast
is
jump.
Yoshi.
That's exactly, yeah.
Honestly, it felt like they looked at their cast and they were like, we have Pedro Pascal, 5 minutes of Sigourney Weaver, and no other names. We need to get somebody else. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah.
Initially, honestly.
Yeah, no, he played young Rada. The hologram we saw of him when he was a child, that was straight from the Clone Wars.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like one of my biggest issues, like kind of along the lines of what T-Roll was saying, is I didn't feel like this was. I feel like there was no personal connection to this storyline for the Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't feel like anything was directly connected to them. Like you were saying, it felt like a side quest the entire time. It didn't feel like the stakes were necessarily directly related to them or like personalized to them in any way. They kept on doing things for other people. Like it never felt like the Mandalorian is doing this because it's for the Mandalorian or for Grogu.
I see what you're saying, Shimano. I do. I still think that the side mission aspect of it is the Mandalorian. Like he is one mission after the next. Like that's what his purpose is. His purpose is to do that, and he then took on the responsibility of bringing Grogu along with him and training him up, which we saw several scenes of him talking to him about how to do X, Y, and Z, and how to be whatever it is that he's being. And I think that's the point of The Mandalorian. I think it's whatever it is that's going on, like he's going to do it, and not for himself, but just because that's his purpose, is to fulfill somebody else's mission.
Okay, so, but my pushback on that would be, so you had 3 seasons of a TV show, that's his thing. Don't you think if you're going to jump to the big screen, part of that would be him finding his own actual purpose?
I mean, it definitely could have been more epic. Like I wouldn't have complained had it been like centered around them. And I think that's the route they should have gone.
Yeah,
because they're not doing another season, right?
I don't know. I think it's up in the air right now. I'm not 100% sure.
that would be the weirdest thing ever, to do 3 seasons and
movie.
then go to a movie and then be like, hey, we're going back to back to doing series.
I remember them talking about this being the last of The Mandalorian, but I think
that's what it is.
I think there's more to go back to. I think there's
And
more.
like if that's the case, then I would have liked for it to go somewhere else to set up even just Grogu, by himself.
I feel like in general, the idea of The Mandalorian has kind of like stagnated since the end of season 2.
Oh, I talked to so many people that are like, they asked me, or I was talking about it earlier today at work, and I was like, yeah, you should see it. It's really good. They're like, well, do I have to watch the whole show? I'm like, no, like it stands on its own. Oh, yeah, good, because I stopped in the middle of season 2. Like, I heard that from 4 people today.
Wow.
I guess they just didn't care anymore. And I get it.
Because of all the side missions, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like part of what was going on was sort of this. All of a sudden, I think Disney put its hands a lot more on The Mandalorian, because they were like, Grogu is this phenomenon, and they kind of like changed the direction of where the show was kind of like focused, to where like they're like, okay, we need a cash cow toy like Grogu style, and I think it affected the storytelling in season 3, in the sense of I feel like they kind of played it down a little bit age-wise, a little bit in season 3. Kind of made it a little bit more goofy, a little bit in certain points.
They played up Grogu.
Yes, basically. And they played up Grogu, and I think that's kind of what has kind of affected it. And it's kind of like I said, it stagnated the character. Like, he really hasn't moved on, character-wise, since the end of like season 2.
I'd love to see him in like some straight up like armor. Like
full-fledged.
Yeah, full, like they can make the little dude some armor, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
he's got a little armor under the under his cloak.
He's got a chainmail and a plate.
Yeah. Just like a Flava Flav big medallion that he had.
Dude, the scene where they show him getting suited up was amazing.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
They tighten it up, man.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
So good. Well, anyways, he's on again. I think it's called Shikari, this moon. We get like a, Thor Ragnarok, Grandmaster kind of situation here with, what's the guy's name? Coin.
Coin
Yeah.
was what was it first?
Jana or Juna or
Yeah, Janu.
Yeah.
Janu. There you go.
Yep.
Also, the scene when Mando walks into the bar and is like, "I'm here to speak to Lord Janu," and just classic Mando. Like, I'm not. Yeah, straight to the point. And if you're not going to give it, I'm not going to repeat myself. I will cut off one of your horns. You know what I'm saying? Great scene. But anyways, yeah, we learned that Rada is, yes, he's a prisoner, but he is he's okay with it because he knows in his mind he's got one more fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a free man. And you really feel for him throughout the entire movie. Really?
No, you do. I agree with that. And I think we need to mention that Mando gets his information from a food vendor, which out of complete nowhere, voiced by Martin Scorsese, the legendary director.
Yeah.
Out of when and why was that a point? Like, to be in a Star Wars movie as a voice actor? Like,
like when it said his name at the beginning of the movie.
It did. It matched the character, but I would have never thought of Martin Scorsese.
And like one of the one of the reasons why it matches the character is because you probably haven't heard Martin Scorsese actually speak that much. Like, you don't have, like, so sometimes with these big actors, like, they have either a distinctive voice or you have them connect to a certain role. Whereas, like, Scorsese, you have a blank slate.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't really have anything to connect him to. Whereas, like, if it was, for example, let's say they'd chosen, like, Christopher Walken. Like, you would have been, like, it would have taken you out because you would have just, all you would have been seeing was Christopher Walken.
At first, I thought it was the dude that plays Data from The Goonies.
Oh,
like I like the first
visually maybe, but like I was
like it sounded like it, and then once he talked for a good bit, I was like, oh yeah, that's
Kwan.
Yeah,
is that who it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I know, right? But I feel like that was a cool scene, getting the information, paying the coin, and then going to the bar and then seeing all the creatures hanging from the cage. And did you guys think it was a little bit like the innuendo of the guy with the horns? Where he's like, "Oh yeah, that thing he's talking about, Grogu, would look real good in a cage," and like he does like a little like either bites his lip or licks his lip.
Yeah, it was weird.
I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, it was a little weird.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it was quite strange.
It was definitely some weird talking going on in that. There was some odd things. Although I think the most the most awesome thing was when he takes the salt, and you're like, why is he taking the salt?
Oh yeah.
And then he just like drops it straight into that dude's cup to just destroy it. Like, just honestly, like, what do you think of the Mandalorian? Like, that was a very Mandalorian move, just because of like I don't care about money. It's because on a hero side, he's almost like the Joker when it comes to that kind of stuff. Where I was just also kind of thinking of like when he burns the big pile of money, the Joker in Dark Knight, and like that's not, if it's not in his purpose, like he's not playing with it,
right?
Yeah,
because he definitely could have. He could have been making a lot more money on these side
easily.
quests.
Yeah.
But he just plays it. He's like, look, I got a job to do. I'm gonna knock this out. On to the next thing.
Yeah.
That's right. So, do you guys think that if he would have taken Lord Janu's deal, that Janu would have treated him with respect, or do you think he, like, basically captured him because of that? You know what I'm saying? When remember he was like, "I'd love for you to consider fighting in my pits." Do you remember that?
I think essentially it would have been the same trap that Rada was in.
Yeah.
I think he would essentially been a prisoner, and then the same setup that happens every single time in any movie where there's like, any sort of like, you have to win a certain amount of matches and then you get your freedom, like happening in like Death Race and like even like Gamer, like going to those types of like movies or any type of gladiator type
Gladiator.
Stuff. Oh yeah, like you win this many matches in a row, you're free. Well, the big thing is always, we're never actually going to let you go free because we're going to kill you before that happens.
Yeah. But anyways, that whole fight scene, again, pretty exciting. Like, it was pretty entertaining watching Rada and Mandalorian have to work together. They weren't really working. They kind of were. They were.
Yeah.
But there's some crazy wicked beasts coming out every corner of that.
One of the things that I saw, and like I didn't expect it to like tug on the heartstrings. But like when Mando like puts the blade to his throat and like everyone in the crowd is yelling like kill him.
Oh yeah.
And like he had just been talking
They're cheering for him. Yeah.
In the cell about like
how he felt like he was finally his own man.
And then like how quickly that changed.
Yeah.
And they were all just calling for his death. I was like, man, that's kind of tough.
It is.
It's a wicked world, man. Fans, they only stick with you when it's good. Right, a lot of fair weather fans in that Coliseum there.
Yeah,
but they did, dude. So when little electric Pokemon gets thrown into the little barrier and it just destroys, you can see the lights go out, and literally I'm like, oh,
here we go.
These people are screwed.
That centipede thing went to town on some of those.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was great. He went right for the guy that shocked him.
Yes.
That little that little cemetery there, because that was the guy who had shocked him. Honestly, though, really poor planning on whoever like set up this match. Why would you make electricity that much of a part of it when you have an electricity like monster that you're throwing in the ring?
Yeah. Yes. Fair point. And I will say, like, I felt totally fine for everyone in the stands that was going to get eaten and killed. But I felt really bad for just the common people in the streets.
Oh,
They showed this
yeah.
little baby in a stroller. And luckily the kid did die. But I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, imagine you're just, like, going to get dinner, you know? And because you have some bloodthirsty, crazy neighbors and this warlord who runs your town, now you might die at the hands of some behemoth monster with a sledgehammer, you know?
True, good point.
Crazy. So anyways, one kind of plot point to the movie that another reason I was a little low on it, it just felt like the first, and again, they were trying to get to the point where Mando himself was in peril, which we obviously get a lot of that in the back half of the movie. But the whole first half of the movie, he accomplishes his task so easily. You know, like he's in the ship with Rada. Rada's like, you know, the guy you're looking for is actually Janu. Like, let's go get him. And then they just show up. And then they just do it in about 2.5 minutes. And then they're back at the New Republic compound. It's just, you know, it's just kind of...
Yeah, it did feel like unnecessarily, like, rushed in that moment. Like, it was like, oh, like, all of a sudden this happens, and then this happens, and now we're done.
Yeah. Which they weren't done because as Mando goes back to his, you know, friendly little humble home, he's got Kung Lao coming to kidnap him and take him back to Nal Hutta, you know. Which that dude was a beast. Kung Lao over there.
What's
good.
called Embo from Clone Wars, making his live action debut. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Talk about aura and presence. I mean, you felt it. Anytime he was on the screen, I was like, this is a force.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his dog too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna shred that Anzillion when he had him in his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Which was
He
really
was just-
odd. Like, it was a really odd, like,
He was playing with him.
interaction that he was having with him. Like, like how much he was just playing with him rather than, like, actually trying to do anything to him.
Yeah.
My dog does that with her toys. It's just she's not trying to really tear it up. She's just kind of throwing it around, like not really biting down as hard as she can.
Shout out Beanie.
Shout out Beanie.
Yes.
Pod dog. But anyways, Mando, he gets kidnapped. He gets taken in Nal Hutta. And yeah, I mean the rest of the movie there were some serious times where like I never thought he would die. I never thought Grogu would die. You know what I'm saying? The movie's called The Mandalorian and Grogu. But there were some times where you're like, he's in some significant, you know, he's in a tight spot.
Yeah, when he's in the pit with the snake, the water snake or whatever the heck that thing was called. First off, the introduction.
Dragon snake.
Dragon
That's
snake
what it was.
Okay, well, the dragon snake. The introduction of that dragon snake visually was stunning.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
That
Totally.
was one of the first ones I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah,
this
that
looks
had
good.
my jaw on the floor right there, and I watched it in IMAX too, and so like it filled.
go
up the
3D?
screen. No 3D. No.
3D, it was good.
It filled up the entire screen, man, and it was like gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They picked the right color. They picked the right color for that too.
Yeah.
So, but apparently it's poisonous as well.
Yes.
So not only is it big and a behemoth, like, oh yeah, by the way, if you do happen to get nicked by it, you're going to be poisoned to death. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I'm so unfair.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I did. There was a part of the fight that I really loved, and I love the fact that when he had the sword and then he used the momentum of the dragon snake to cut itself. Like honestly, that is like a phenomenal way to like show how good the Mandalorian is at combat and to use the advantages of the monster against itself.
That's right.
Like, really, its own speed you're using against it in that moment.
Yeah, because he couldn't cut the dragon snake with that type of force.
No.
So it's like the only way he could do it, stand his ground, let the dragon snake use its speed to cause its own demise, which ultimately it didn't, but it was cool. Like, I was impressed just how long he was able to survive. Because at times you're like, dude, how is he gonna get out of here? You know, I thought he had a better chance of pulling a Jonah, getting eaten, and then like finding a way to blow up the dragon snake from the inside. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, how's he gonna get out of this? But he got out thanks to Grogu showing up.
Man, he's always Johnny on the spot.
Dude, that is so well said. They blow a hole in the side of this thing, somehow big enough for Mandalorian to also get out of. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this whole sequence like was a lot of madness, a lot of chaos. And now that the Mandalorians escaped, the Hutts, the twins, they're sending all of their henchmen out into the the countryside to find him.
Oh,
So
yeah, we have a moment in the swamp where Grogu's the one in charge and taking control of the entirety of the situation as best he can. And I think it did bring a kind of like a slowdown to the movie, like a halt. But I honestly think it was necessary. I really do. I really feel like getting Grogu to be the one that we are focused around and how he problem solves, how he goes about making decisions. Like, I mean, it really was, I think, necessary. But yes, it was a little bit of a standstill, something that kind of put a halt to the action. But like also showing how much he cares for the Mandalorian and how much he was willing to save him.
I will say it was the one moment in the movie where there was any sort of character growth. Like I had said, there was some issues with like character growth and stuff like this, but it was like the one time where you actually got to see something.
Yeah, I like the scenes with like where he was like stealing the fish from the guy, like the Louisiana swamp looking reptile like sitting on his porch rocking swing. Definitely went to LSU.
In the bayou.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought that was a cool scene. Like playing off of like obviously the swamplands of where they were.
Yeah. And I feel like there was a moment when he first looked at the ship, I felt like I heard the Dagobah theme. Like from the original series. Like I just felt like there was like a moment where like I was like, that sounds like Dagobah. And it's just a very similar like style of like planet.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the composer Ludwig used, I think, a lot of elements from all of the Star Wars movies to compose.
Yeah.
Like I heard several familiar sounds, whether it's from the Mandalorian show or Clone Wars, or like there was moments worked into every scene. I feel like so. I mean, it sounded incredible, absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah.
and I will say the Grogu scene of him surviving out there with Mando and helping him heal, I honestly thought it was one of the better scenes of the whole movie. Like I was impressed with how much time they spent on it. You know, it's like
sitting there for a minute, yeah.
I was just being critical of like Mando captured coin in his fortified house in about 2.5 minutes. We get like 9 minutes of Grogu with no words spoken, just taking care of Mandalorian, creating a cocoon, hiding him.
I love how he built that massive like cocoon for him, and then it like his feet were hanging out. I'm like, just keep building the cocoon.
Yeah.
But the scene with him like pushing him in and out with the Force.
Oh yeah,
that's so good.
Yeah, me and my son cracked up. He thought it was so funny.
Yeah. Oh, it was really good.
Which I did find it very interesting. He made the hut, the little cocoon thing. It looked very, very similar to Yoda's hut on Dagobah. So maybe that's a little bit of a species background lore. Because, it looked shape-wise, everything, it looked very, very, very similar.
But he was just like padding.
And I love how the transition from from night to day, and he's been doing it all evening, and it's that big. So that was pretty impressive, very, very impressive. But he does end up healing, and I have no idea how the heck Mando made it out of that hut when he woke up, because the feet there was no hole in the roof, and the feet were really tight there. Like when you wake up from almost dying and you see like there's a roof above you, like I feel like he would have shimmied or moved or something.
There would have been some sort of like claustrophobia there for a moment.
Oh yeah.
Although I guess he is in a helmet all the time, so like there is some natural claustrophobia built in there that you gotta get over. The bigger thing is how does Grogu not notice?
He was tired, man.
But literally, like you're saying, you have to go out like the feet end. How do you not notice somebody moving that much to try to get past you?
No, Grogu was such a caretaker. He's so exhausted.
Hey, if we're gonna complain about little things like that, with Shimano, I agree. Here's one for you. As soon as this happened in the movie, and it was like the next scene, I was that freaking gif of DiCaprio like pointing at the because literally he is fighting these people in the pit. He's fighting the dragon snake. He has no weapons. He has absolutely nothing. He wakes up, and then the next scene, they go to that ship, the gun-running ship, and he's got his blaster. Hello, where on earth did he get the blaster?
Dude,
And you might.
It's a gun running ship.
Yeah, he
No,
grabbed,
no.
When he walks into the gun running ship,
Thank
he
you,
had-
Shishio.
before he's able to get to anything, when that first one
Okay.
starts attacking him.
Grogu
Yes.
got it back for him.
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
Off screen.
Grogu's
Yeah.
totally packing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. One of the things I did love about when he fought those monsters in that moment is there was a moment where I was like, I wonder if they got this idea. The idea for droidicas was because they saw these monsters moving, because they rolled a lot like the droidicas in like Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Good point.
But anyways, they get the gun running ship up in the air. They're going full kamikaze into the palace.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
That was cool.
yeah, and again, another scene, like it's literally copy and paste the same exact thing. The Hutts are like, "Oh, everybody go!" And it's like I'm pretty sure it's the same clip. They used it twice of all of the bounty hunters leaving.
I saw that too. Yeah.
It felt pretty lazy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It literally.
$100 million movie. Like, come on.
Yeah. I think they just panned out a little bit more on the second shot. That's what it was.
Yeah. So they all leave again. Now the action here was great. You know, like everything happening for pretty much the rest of the movie. The fight scene was good. You get the fight happening in 3 different areas. You know, you get Mando and what's his name? Kung Lao. I was joking earlier, but what's his real name?
Embo.
Yeah.
Embo. You get Mando and Embo. You get Grogu with the dog, which was amazing.
Yeah.
He put her to sleep first, which is awesome. And then you get the Hutts, the triple threat going on.
Dude, that was the triple threat, the 3-way match, dude. It was that was good. I mean, I don't know how the twins. Obviously, it's 2-on-1, but like physically, our boy Rada, Beefcake
Oh,
boy,
Yeah.
he was a specimen. He should have like put straight hands to them much easier, but it was obviously 2-on-1, so it was a bit of a disadvantage.
And they're still big in their respect. They don't have as much,
yeah.
muscle, but they got a lot of weight to throw around.
Yeah.
I did want to point out a couple of Mando's kills in this battle with the droids. They added some of the stuff that like Clone Wars was really good at, which was these moments where they give this like false humanity to the droids. Because there was this one moment where like one of the droids, like right before he shoots him, like puts his hand up, like almost saying like, no, don't, right before he shoots him. And then like when he's like rolling with one of the other droids and like it takes like multiple like kill shots, it really felt more like one of those scenes you'd see in an action movie where the hero's like rolling with an enemy and like gets at him. Which Clone Wars was always really good at giving like false humanity to the droids, where you'd have moments where you're like, oh, like there's almost uncomfortable humanity sometimes with the droids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And this was, normally in like any Star Wars project, you had this moment where you feel emotionally for a droid. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that a lot. I don't remember a single moment where I was like, oh, my heart was wrenching for like the pain of some poor droid being destroyed or abused. That didn't really happen at all in this whole movie.
Well, that's because the Mandalorian has taught us that we should hate droids. Remember in season 1?
I do remember. Yeah, I do remember.
By the end, he's essentially in love with the droid.
True. Well, stop watching. You'd hate them. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Hey, so also keep in mind that does Mando ever really get the? How does the fight with Mando and Embo like end? Like at some point they split off, but does he ever get the upper hand and he wins? Like obviously he doesn't die.
Throws Embo onto the Hutts as they're falling down into the pit, and so Embo's down in the pit. That's why the Hutts are like, "Hey, save us, and we'll pay you." And then he goes through the tunnel. He leaves the
right.
He's like, nah,
tunnel.
bruh.
Yeah,
He's like, this ain't my fight.
exactly.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm surprised he was even there in general. Like,
Yeah, I did find it interesting when Embo had first brought Mando in, and Mando said, make sure they're paying you what you're worth. And yet, Mando's not getting paid what he's worth when he's with Sigourney Weaver's character. Like,
Yeah, but it's more of his choice. I think in a way it's like Mando's getting paid what he's worth because he's doing what he wants to do. Like kind of like that kind of like idea. Whereas like he knows Embo is just doing this for the money.
Yeah.
So if you're doing something for just the money, make sure you're getting every penny. I kind of like that idea.
I kind of took it as like you're a really good bounty hunter because you caught me. Make sure
That's how I took it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like him, like, I hate you right now, but
Yeah, you're
respect,
really
bro.
good. You are
Respect.
really, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the fight ends. They die. The Dragon State kills both of them. I'm kind of glad we get to see both of them die. You get to see one of the twins completely swallowed to start, and the second one gets binded and then swallowed. And meanwhile, X-wings are showing up. The whole squadron, always at the end, never there to help during any of the.
Never when you need them.
Nope.
Yeah.
We
Just
get
there
a
for
Dave Filoni cameo in
We
the
do.
X-wing. Yep, that was good.
Yeah, we also got him in the bar.
Yes, we did get in the bar, but
That's right.
speaking role, he actually spoke in the X-wing.
Yep. So X-wings show up. They bomb this thing out. They jump in the pond. Everything's good. Movie's pretty much over. What am I missing? What else happened here at the end? That's kind of it, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, they went back to we brought Rada back to the New Republic base, and Zeb is recruiting him to be a part of the team, New Republic. And then, Sigourney Weaver has one last bland line.
Yeah.
And then Mando teaches Grogu how to fly the plane, and they're off in the horizon. That's it.
Yeah. I think Rada could be a really important piece. Like, just in general, like, bridging the worlds of the Hutts and the New Republic, potentially, if you were to actually, like, not embrace the villainy of the Hutts, but they do carry a lot of sway as a species.
A lot of weight,
Yes.
if you will.
Exactly.
Yes. So, like, potentially, and it does seem like it's monarchical, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that, like, power passes from, on family lines. So, I mean, it could be an interesting idea of, like, he could help stabilize some of those outer rim territories.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting to think of, like, Jabba's son now be working for the New Republic,
Very
Like,
good.
obviously, we know that he's a good dude. Like, they made it really... There was a couple times where I was like, early on, I was like, is this guy real? Or is he going to be the one that's playing Mando? Right?
Yeah.
Because, again, what I was critical of earlier, I was like, who's the villain here? What am I looking for? I couldn't tell. I was like, is Rada just lying to him this whole time? But no, he was just genuinely a good dude.
Yeah. There were a couple moments where, like, in that first prison cell scene where you were like, when he was feeding Grogu, where you were like, is he feeding him because he wants to get him? It seemed like he was wanting to get him closer so that, like,
he could eat him.
Yeah, like, so he could do something to him. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a bad idea. Bad idea. But anyways, boys, good movie overall.
Yeah.
No post-credit scene, no nods, anything to come.
Nope.
But if you want a couple minutes of speculation here, Justin, I felt like you were eager earlier. You were like, man, what could be coming down the pipeline? Is there anything to come with Mandalorian, or is he just going to make some cameos maybe at times?
That's the thing with Star Wars, man. The timeline is so crazy. It's all over the place. Like, we're jumping back and forth from prequel to post to current timeline. Like, it's everywhere. And so, can the character of Mandalorian make an appearance again? I mean, yeah, he can. But, like, I feel like it won't be of any, like, significance. That's why I think I like these Mandalorian standalone, like, in this bubble that we talked about, Jordan. These little pocket side missions. I think this is where he fits best because you can't bring him into this big, like, Skywalker saga supposedly is, like, it's done and over with or whatever, right? Like, maybe. But, like, that would take place, 24 years from where we're at right now? Like, he's already older. So if we see Mandalorian again in that time frame, he'll be older and less spry. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. That's why I like
what
these
they could do. They could old him up a little bit and which also give a chance for Grogu to grow into his, like, potential, like, prime.
See, I think they could use, like, a Grogu like they use, like, Groot. Like in the
they would
Marvel.
do that.
Like, I think they could get a lot of play out of Grogu.
Which, this is definitely the last we've seen of Grogu. Grogu is their cash cow, I think, moving forward. And now it's whether or not we're going to get development, lore, or something further.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, the line I remember, the Hutts. when they said, the Hutt species lives for centuries, and then Grogu lives for centuries or whatever.
Yep.
But you, as a man, Mandalorian, you will die. I'm totally paraphrasing what was said, but there will come a day where you can't protect him anymore. And I think that might be a slight nod. So, we're going to see Grogu again. But when we see Grogu again, it'll be current timeline. And guess what? By that point, Mando, he's not there, right?
Grogu's now
a little slower,
Grogu's more of a rugged, he's seen some things, and Din Djarin's gone now, and he's just trying to do the best to fulfill his memory, that kind of thing. I can see that.
One of the things I love when any Star Wars movie comes out, because I feel like they do a really good job of it feels like everything kind of revolves around that. Whether back in the day, Pepsi was really big with the prequels, or right now I feel with you said the cash cow of Grogu, there's so much they can do with it. I mean, my son brought in a big plushie of Grogu into the movie theater. We bought the helmet cup. There's so much merch out there, and even today I was playing the Mandalorian Fortnite game. It's and I hadn't played Fortnite in forever, but I feel like it pulls in a whole lot of different fandoms, Lego, and all this stuff. And I love when it does that, because it just helps build the brand more and more. And there's a lot of emphasis around it, even for a movie that
it's true. Maybe
you said should or shouldn't be a movie.
Yeah,
I read an article today before coming onto the podcast that Grogu merchandise has sold over 19 million in a week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Insane. It's such a cheat code. It's a cheat code, dude.
It is.
What if we get a Batman Beyond set up for the next Grogu, but they knew each other, and essentially Din Djarin essentially moves to the advisor role.
Old man Wayne, and
he's
Grogu's helmet.
He's essentially just he's the dude at the computer. It's
Man
that
in
type
the
of
chair.
person.
The Mandalorian in the chair.
Hey,
That's for Sweat. That's for Sweat.
Love it.
That's for T Sweat right there, boys. All right.
We'll say we did skip over one final highlight for me. Real quick. It's fast. The dogfight when the Razor Crest and the other three jets, when they're leaving the mansion. That was a sick dogfight in the sky. And Zeb pulling out the circuit board, and then Mando doing a crazy flip and just taking him down and mowing him. So cool.
I thought a lot of the flying scenes like that, they looked.
Yeah.
They looked different, and it looked awesome.
It felt great. I can't wait to watch it in 4DX to feel those scenes. Those are going to be fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'll be there on Sunday. So
that sounds fun. Okay, boys. Well, let's wrap it up here. Good review, good time discussing Mandalorian and Grogu. I really enjoyed it. And what more will come from Star Wars? What more will come from Mandalorian? We don't know. We do expect to see a lot more Grogu in the coming years and products and projects and everything. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. And again, it was the 6th movie in our Trial by Tomato Season 1. So shout out to everyone who's taken part in that, especially our boy Daquan. Absolutely killing it. We're going to give Daquan special kudos until he loses a game, all right? So also be on the lookout, ladies and gentlemen. Season 2 is right around the corner. Those movies will start in July. You will have your chance. Probably should have said this at the beginning of the pod. Oh, well. You will have your chance to put your votes in to cast your ballots for Season 2, all of our movies. Be on the lookout. That will be coming out in June. So a lot to discuss and a lot to cover in the coming weeks and months here on the Royal Geek Podcast. So anyways, with all that in mind, from my good friends, Sandy, Shamato, and of course, the landlord, Jordan Mosley, this is T-Roll saying thank you so much for listening to the Royal Geek Podcast. We will see you next time, you peasants.